Opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and not WSTU. WSTU does not endorse any products mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU.
The Treasure Coast longest-running local talk radio show is on the air. The Treasure Coast Forum. Get interested, get educated, get involved, and give us a call with your opinions at 220-9788. And here's your host of the Treasure Coast Forum.
Hello, hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. My name is John. I'm your host for today, and I am here with Mr. Frank. Care to say hi?
Yo, what's up? Happy Thursday.
Yeah, good to be here with you guys again.
Enjoyable week?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's freaking out over our college applications and whatnot. And, I was a good sport. I was good. And I submitted everything on Halloween. So now I'm just cruising along and just waiting because I did everything early action. And I actually have a really funny story. Okay, so I submitted to a university called Johnson & Wales University, right? And they're in Rhode Island, so it's the farthest away from here. And I think it's Providence, Rhode Island.
And that was by design.
Yes.
Okay.
And they found me. So I submitted, and it's Friday, and I'm like, I have a weekend of applications. I'm so stressed out. I've been doing like calls with my college advisor and things like that. And then so in the middle of class, I get this random text. It's like, hey, Noyana, it's awesome that you submitted your application. I'd like to have a wildcat chat with you. I think it's like whatchamacallit, like the Zoom calls or whatever. So this is like their interview or whatever. And it's like, sincerely, this admissions rep. And I was like, oh my God. So I texted back. I was like, okay, here's like my schedule. And so I'm looking at the text and I was like, wait a minute. Is this some automated message?
Right.
Did I just text back some
pranked?
Yeah, I was like, did I just text back some whatchamacallit? Some robot? So I'm like really down, and I'm at school. I'm like, yo, I was just so stupid. I'm so stupid for doing this. So it's after school, and I borrowed my friend's laptop charger, and she's in band, so she has band practice after school. So I'm walking with her. I got my best friend with me, and I'm just walking. I'm just like ranting. I'm like, I can't believe I was so dumb. I did this, and I texted back, and I was like, but I want that interview though, And then so I do some digging, and I find this man's number because like the text left the admissions rep's name.
Yeah.
I found his number, so. Now we're like outside the band room in the middle of like the field at South Fork by the football field. And I'm like, hey, should I call him? And she's like, yeah, just go for it. So I call him in the middle of the field. And it was so crazy because he's like, this is so-and-so. How's it going? I was like, I got a text from you and I'm like really busy all the time. Can we like find something that works for both of us? And he's like, okay, yeah. So like he's pulling up my stuff. He's like, oh, you're gonna be like a criminal defense attorney, and we're talking. Fun fact, his wife is actually a criminal defense attorney. We stand out here. But out of nowhere, he just goes, do you know anything about Johnson & Wales University? I'm like, no, you guys just offered me money and I watched like 2 YouTube videos and that's it. So I just applied. He's like, how did you get my number? And I'm like, look, man, the journey to this phone call is very strange. And I was like, I'm in the middle of a field outside my school. I was like, I'm in Florida, okay? And you're in Rhode Island. It's like we're 500 years apart, or however miles away, and he was so kind. He was so kind to me, and
I would like to be a fly on the wall during these random phone
Yes!
conversations. Right?
Be interesting.
Yes, because he was like, I cannot believe you just called. I was like, I know, like I just went for it, and I'm like, my best friend is standing next to me, and I was like, say hi, and she goes, hi, because she has a very like soft voice, and he's just like laughing, and I'm like, oh my. So guys, that was just my experience talking to a college rep. I actually have my interview with him tomorrow. Wish me luck. It's not like, I don't know. It's,
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
hopefully I get lots of money and I can go if Columbia and Harvard and Cornell and Princeton don't want me, but I know they will. We're manifesting. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, isn't that a story? So John, next year, that's what you got to do. Just find your college admissions
And call them up.
people.
Right.
Yeah, call them
Just
and say
hit 'em
like,
up.
hey, yep, that's the way to go, guys. That's the way to go. Anyways, so I'm gonna hand things over to you.
Okay.
Back to you.
That was
John.
my week.
That was an interesting week. I guess something that was a little bit cool. This is just a side note. There's going to be a soft Tauride, I believe. It's a soft Tauride meteor is going across the night sky tonight. So this
Okay,
is
wait
like
a minute. So I'm going to.
Right.
So I think we should, going forward,
right.
we should have our own sound before we go into our space segment.
Oh, sure.
I think
yes.
so.
Make
I
it
think
nice and
I think
classy.
John has earned it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Maybe not. All right. And now for the space report with John.
Okay. So in the later evening. Oh my God. Okay. This is just going to be chaotic
All
today.
right.
Okay. So in the later evenings, not evenings, the later hours of today and kind of like dawnish in the morning, it's going, the soft Tauride meteors are going to be visible. So if anybody kind of wants to catch a glimpse of that,
Mhm.
and just stay up and catch a glimpse of that. Mr. Frank, you were talking about how SpaceX was supposed to have a launch tomorrow.
He actually was supposed to be yesterday.
Yesterday, not tomorrow, the opposite.
Yeah. So there was a launch scheduled for Crew 3, and it was delayed by a medical issue. So I'm going to poll you and No to find out what you think that medical issue could be.
Was this the no?
SpaceX
Is it-
astronauts launch for NASA has been delayed until at least Saturday, November 6th, by a minor medical issue affecting a crew member. So that means a single crew member, one of 4. The agency officials said. Mission known as Crew 3 has been scheduled to lift off early Wednesday morning, November 3rd, from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. And the earliest it now could be launched is 11:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which I think p.m. Daylight Time is kind of weird, right? Anyways, but then never mind for that. And the evening, November 6th at 0336 Greenwich Mean Time on November 7th. So the issue is not a medical emergency and not related to COVID-19, NASA officials said in the update today, which was on November 1st.
Wait.
So if you wanted to speculate, what could it be?
Is it AIDS? I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
This whole entire week in biology, I've been very freaked out
right.
because we just watched a movie called The Band and the Band Plays On, something like that.
Yeah,
It's about like the discovery of AIDS.
yeah.
So that's the only thing that's coming to mind. It was either COVID or AIDS.
Right.
It is one or the other. I don't know.
Could be flu.
I was
Flu.
going to say like common cold. Or
Yeah.
maybe something like
Are you
they're not
serious?
pressurized or
Right.
something.
But-
I
but
don't know.
So,
But they're
there's
astronauts.
3 guys and 1 woman.
Mm.
So, what do you think?
No, because aren't astronauts supposed to be like strong and like they go through all this training in
Right.
their body. I don't
Yeah.
think they would be delayed by some common COVID different,
Yeah.
but like
Oh, it's not COVID.
I don't think it would be the flu either.
I think they have protocols that if you have a temperature or something going on, you know,
Well,
yeah.
can AIDS do that? I think so. I think it's a pretty viable answer.
All right. All
Okay.
right. All right.
Anyways.
I don't agree. I don't agree, but that could be.
I'm
your
This is a
answer.
sorry.
weird
I've been
conversation,
no.
but
We've
yeah.
been we've been looking into like the biology of it, and
Right.
it was insane. Like
Right.
the movie, oh my god,
Yeah.
I recommend everybody watch The Band and the Band Plays On. I think that's what it's called. Terrifying for me. I'm very sensitive to those things. All my other friends are like, okay, cool. And we even had this like experiment. Funny story. This is a really quick story. In class, my teacher,
Yeah.
she's like, everybody pick a cup,
Yeah.
and one of them is contaminated. So I waited,
Nice.
and I was like, okay, and I selected my cup, and I
Mm,
went around, and I switched with one person because they
Right.
hadn't swapped with anybody else,
right.
and then I swapped with the second person because they hadn't swapped with anybody else, and all of us kind of like just mixed our our cups together.
Right.
And then I was about to switch with my best friend. And then I was like, wait, I didn't know who you switched with before. So let me check. So I literally investigated everybody.
Mm.
And then so he ended up, by the time I was done, he ended up like turning back and switching with somebody else.
Mm.
So when I asked him, I was like, hey, okay, I think you're good. You want to switch? He said, nah, man, I already switched with somebody else. So Miss Baird, my teacher, just went around and she was like confirming who had AIDS or not, because like we were switching. And so
This is all
I-
theoretical.
yes, this
Yes,
is theoretical.
yes,
It's
yes.
just to show how fast these
Mm.
diseases can spread. And because I played things safe, guys, I didn't get AIDS.
Wow.
Everybody else it was only 2 of us.
Wow.
It was me and the first person I switched with who didn't get it. And I was like, see, this is why we need to make smart decisions
Right.
as the youth. Okay,
Oh.
crazy story. I know, it's always something with me. And I was like crying. I was like, you see, I knew it.
All right.
And yeah.
Okay. Oof.
First it's a phone call, now it's
Right.
AIDS.
We don't know where
Yeah.
we're going. Yeah.
Anyways,
Wow. All right.
do you have anything else for John? Why are you looking like that? Any thoughts?
Sometimes I just get very confused. It's how we end up on some of these topics. Like 1 week it's murder, next week it's in the middle of the field.
Oh, this week is gonna be crazy. Wait until we get into talking about school. Wait until we get there.
All right.
Actually,
So, do you have anything else on space, John?
yeah.
I have some tech stuff actually. It was
Okay.
it was a quick one. A Minnesota man tried to hack into the Major League Baseball, and I think he tried to extort them for like $150,000. And
Which is
I
chump
was
change.
I was kind of confused.
Wait,
I was like, you hack into the Major League Baseball?
their website or their
No, their entire system and
are you
everything.
serious?
Yeah.
So he got into their system. So what could he do?
I
What
think he was
what
like trying
nefarious
to like
thing could he do?
so he was
to
trying to like
lock it up?
publicize like the vulnerabilities and everything.
uh,
And he was like kind of
Oh.
pay me to keep
go
me
away?
silent.
Yeah.
And you got arrested.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was
Aw.
crazy. Like you can get
So
paid
his
for that and
hacking
type
skills
stuff.
were better than his detective skills.
Negotiations
Yeah.
were there too.
Oh, the irony.
And
Yeah.
another quick one. It was we didn't talk about this last week. This was more of another quick one. It was Facebook changing its name to Meta.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what their entire goal is to try to rebrand, kind of get rid of their past stigma against everything. And they're trying to move towards so-called a metaverse. If anybody you know what that is, it's basically imagine kind of like a Discord, just not really like a Discord server. If anybody you know, it's kind
Mhm,
of like gaming. You can do anything, just
Mhm.
talk to anybody, intermingle with anybody, kind of like a forum chat or whatever. Their entire thing is to kind of get set up for like pretty much anything VR chat,
Right.
like
right,
everything, and just get
Mm.
set up. I
Right.
don't know. How do you guys feel about that type of stuff?
So Facebook makes their money by selling, of all things,
And you were talking.
metadata.
Mhm.
That's really where they're. So I thought it was at least upfront for them not to hide what they're doing.
Mhm.
And if you understand what meta is, then if you participate in Facebook, you're doing it at least with eyes wide open.
Hmm. I don't know. I just
Yes, it's pretty nefarious.
I
if you-
don't
think.
I just don't trust social media in general,
Yeah.
especially if they're trying to do a change, because we were actually talking today in anthropology about because we're doing like our IAs and whatnot.
Mm.
And one of the biggest things my teacher was like is, for example, mental illness. She has ADHD and she's been diagnosed with it ever since she was 8. So she knows more about it than anybody else, and she has to actually do like take medicine for it and whatnot. And she was talking about how, you know, even on platforms like TikTok, where you're connected to everybody and you're exposed to all these things and it opens up conversations, you know, it's a way for people to talk about social issues, commentary, share fashion, this and that. But even then, on there, like, things can become stigmatized and they're collecting your data, and there's an algorithm that only caters to you, and TikTok knows you more than you know yourself, and things like
It's
that.
like talking
So-
to somebody, and it was like, even if you have just your camera on Facebook, or like if you're on like Instagram or something, they'll scan you and create your own digital
Mhm.
portfolio before you even get on the website. And I'm like,
Mhm. I'll let you know right now, my iPhone, because like the newer iPhones that don't have the like home button, I do not have Face ID on. I don't use that stuff. I mean, my parents do, my friends do, my sister does, but I don't do that stuff. I just make my password simple. So whenever I need to get into my phone, I just press 00000. Please don't hack into my phone. But like, because it's only going to get more advanced from there. When your phone starts getting, now you have things like Apple Pay, which does make things convenient, but at a point where everything becomes like on a phone or on social
We
media,
talked
or
about this before, right?
we did.
We talked about like digital wallets and all
Oh
that.
yeah, like digital passports,
yeah,
right?
the digital passports
Yeah.
only went into like digital wallets and stuff.
Yeah. They're just and you're seeing the same thing with like cryptocurrency and like Bitcoin. Now there's things with like NFTs, like with everything becoming so online, there's an air of like, just you just read the terms and conditions. That's about it. All right. Well, I'm gonna take things over from you really, really quickly.
Go for
Mr.
it.
Frank, if you could you please play the SOHCAHTOA? Actually, wait. Actually, before we play it, I'm gonna ask you guys a
You're
question.
gonna set this up.
Yeah. We should set this up. Okay, so under what terms do you think a teacher should be fired?
Misconduct.
I mean, just there's a whole litany. I'm
Mhm.
sure.
I just want to set like the narrative of
Moral
like
code?
like moral code,
I
like
guess.
Right.
Yeah.
inappropriate behavior towards
Mhm.
students, towards faculty, despite multiple warnings
Right.
and disciplinary action.
Right.
I don't know, like abusing the students, things like simple things, right?
Right.
Like ethics,
Okay.
I guess.
Mhm.
All right. So there was this video that went viral, and I'm gonna let you play it now. I just want to set up with that grounds, because we're gonna talk about it.
All right. Here we go.
All right, one buzz. Okay.
This is
SOHCAHTOA.
okay. So this is radio, so we have to describe what's going on.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to give an air. So this is a teacher in California, a high school teacher.
Yeah, in Riverside,
And-
California.
yeah, Riverside. And the funniest thing is that she's teaching a trigonometry concept of sine, cosine, and tangent. So what I was taught when I was going through geometry was that SOHCAHTOA is sine, it's over over hypotenuse, yeah. So like opposite over hypotenuse, and then sine is that's and then
Yeah.
cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So they came up with SOHCAHTOA, and that's how kids like I used to write it down on my paper so I can remember, and I'm in calculus now, like IB math. And I'm still using that stuff. So it's just a simple concept that, a lot of us who take math classes have to learn. And she dressed up as a Native American,
Right.
and she had like feathers on, the
Right.
printed pants,
Right.
and she's making sounds. So she goes, SOHCAHTOA. And when you go
So
deeper
it's
into the
like an
video,
Indian chant. It
yeah, like an
seems
Indian chant. And when you
Mhm.
go deeper into the video, if you could
Mhm.
play it just a little bit.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll do that.
SOHCAHTOA.
So she's like jumping around
right.
and
Yeah. Her
kind of
arms are
acting
flaying
crazy,
around. Yeah.
and
I get to go home, and I get all of my feathers. There we go.
So the students are embarrassed and putting their head down.
yep. And she's like running around.
I think she's ran into the door.
Yeah.
I just hurt my toe. My toe.
Tell me this
Yeah.
will end soon.
So I guess we can end it there. I feel
Yeah,
like
thank you.
everybody gets the
Well,
message.
Very painful.
So and here's I'm gonna just set this right here, right now. The fact that she did this in California,
Yeah.
which is known to be very progressive, so they don't take things like this because a lot of people see this as very insensitive and almost racist.
To
Yeah,
Indians.
to
Okay.
Indians, especially since she is white.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that would fly anywhere else, but in this especially very progressive state, I'm surprised she even came up with this. I'm just shocked. Really, in 2021, after seeing everything that 2020 brought out.
Yeah, you can't
So-
do that, Sokotoa, without having this image burned into your brain.
Yeah, after that,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and
Maybe that was her goal.
And here's the thing, because I actually watched a video, and this is what made me really want to talk about is
Yeah.
that this Native American, well,
Mhm.
I guess he had like a Native American DNA,
Mhm.
and he said that being a teacher is hard, it's a pretty bad job, and that she was just trying to make the students have a memorable lesson, and I was like, yes, fair
Right.
point,
Yeah.
I agree,
Yeah.
and in that sense, I think the intentions do come out as this is not to be insensitive or racist or make fun of or bring down
Mhm.
Native American culture, but it's rather to just make a lesson interesting so his students aren't sitting there just like, ugh, what? Okay, geometry or trigonometry or whatever we're learning. Okay, time to move on to the next
Right.
class,
Mhm.
which I can respect. But at the same time, given our time period, yikes, and he was like, she needs to take a class on sensibility
Yeah.
and ignorance, you
Right.
know, and I was just so shocked. So I want to hear, what are your thoughts, John? You're looking,
Yeah.
I would like to know, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I'm not really thinking on the mindset of this right now, if that makes sense. So I agree that's kind of insensitive because she's basically almost disrespecting an entire culture that has no bearing
Yeah, it
towards
has
this, and then
Mhm.
attaching it towards it. And okay, yeah, that I completely agree with. Now I'm just kind of on the lines, just like, when is race kind of done?
Mm,
Does that
mm.
make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Like
for me. I mean, I understand the Sokotoa. It sounds almost Indian.
Yeah,
No,
like,
like-
so, and I get her picking up on
Moving
that.
past that, I
But-
was kind of like in the mood of trying to understand, like, as a society, when is race kind of finished? Does that
Right.
make sense?
When do we
So,
stop
like,
looking
when is
at
it?
things through a
When is it
lens?
just it is
Yeah.
what it is, and it's
Right.
just okay. This culture's, and
Right.
then is it okay for somebody to be part of that culture when they're not?
Right.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
And I think I understand. I just think within this context of the video, like,
Not in
we
the
have
video,
to. What do you
but
mean?
just like as a separate concept altogether, because that just kind of got me thinking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for example, if okay, this is going to be a weird spiral.
No, go for it.
So if I had somebody from Asia and then I put them in America, put somebody from America in Asia, and like reverse the entire roles
Mm-hmm.
and put them in the same same dilemma. They're not from this place, they're not from that place. And when would it get to the point where they could just be in that society? Like, moving past this, not even relating to that. One is that they are just part of that society now. They're not different.
So I think this relates to anthropology, and we're actually gonna go to break very soon.
Alright.
So I'm gonna answer your question when we come back
Okay.
because I do have an answer.
Very good. Well done. No. And we'll be right back. So stick with us. Hello. How you doing? Stand by, Francis.
The thing is,
Yeah. Don't ever call me Francis. All
the thing-
right. All
the
right.
thing is
Good.
that with
We'll be live in about a minute.
I think she went
All right. Stand by.
Yeah, I completely agree.
like, I mean, I feel like you can be a little bit racist about it. Just a little bit, just a little bit. But after that, all right, we have 2 callers on the line, or is that Mr. Bob?
Yeah, I can't.
You can't answer it?
No, then I'd drop Bob.
Oh.
Also, the one
Which song to call back?
saying you has a lot of recipes.
Really? Okay, good. I'm thinking of making some salmon, but if I can make some.
The salmon is really
Ooh,
is like one of the best ones I've had.
me some salmon. Okay. Oh, we about to-
Hello. Hey, John, stand by. All right.
You got me? Oh, man.
And we're back with the caller, Mr.
Yep.
Bob.
Hello, Mr. Bob. Are you there?
Yeah, I heard you guys talking. You're going to drop me there.
No, of course not. We just had somebody
Oh,
else on the
I'm not saying-
line.
Don't play it off. I heard. Hey, before I get to my rant, which I love the recent election that happened around. I'm glad to hear you're staying home. You're going to Rhode Island on A1A. I didn't know Hutchinson Island had a college. So that would be great. Where's that college on Hutchinson Island?
I think it's Providence, something like that.
No, you're in you're not staying. I thought you were going
Rhode
you said
Island.
Yeah,
I
Rhode
thought you
Island.
meant Hutchinson Island.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant A1A Island.
No.
They only have like 20,000 residents in that little state. I mean, there's probably like 5 people in that college.
Yeah, and all my black friends are like, are you gonna be surrounded by any minorities? I was like, look, man, I'm here for the education, okay?
There you go.
So
There you go. Good attitude.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine wherever you go.
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah.
to click on. I enjoyed the elections in the last few days.
Yeah.
You had Youngkin, Republican, was supposed to lose over Terry McAuliffe
Right.
in Virginia, which is basically too many people from D.C.
Right.
That are voting to keep their simple jobs overpriced too. But the lieutenant governor elect is a Republican woman of color.
Mhm.
I mean, she's going to be in there with him,
Right.
and
And the
Yeah,
attorney general is a Hispanic, right?
I think she's actually African American.
No, not. Yes, that would be the
The lieutenant governor for
lieutenant
Virginia.
governor, but yes, but the attorney general was also on that ballot too.
I might have got that wrong,
Yeah.
but you also had a woman of color that
Mhm.
got
Right.
elected, I think, for I don't know, maybe a mayoral position in Florida. No.
I think so. I don't know. I've been in college mode this whole time. I don't know what's going on in the outside world.
Hey, Jer-
Well,
hey,
see, you got to switch teams to the Republicans, and you can move on up there, But and then also in New Jersey, God, it's
Yeah.
still
still counting,
We're
right?
going back to the mail-in ballots. There's a truck driver
Right.
that they're counting the mail-in ballots, but Murphy, the current governor,
They think he won,
Uh,
right?
he's already said that he's going to win all the mail-in ballots.
Right.
I don't like mail-in ballots
No, I
for
know.
anything.
Bob, I'm going to ask you to step aside though, or ring us back later because I got another caller too. I want to get to before we go to break.
All right, just let me know when you want me to call in.
All right, bud. Thanks.
All right,
I
then. Talk to you
appreciate
soon.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, and our other caller.
All right. You're on the air.
This is John from Stewart.
Hey, John,
Hi.
go ahead.
I'm taking a poll. The Global Climate Summit is going on now.
Oh, yeah, the one that Joe
and
Biden took a nap in.
Pardon?
The one that Joe Biden took a nap. During
Well,
the, yeah.
that's what the Fox 5 at Fox. There's 5
Oh, yeah.
people who work for Fox, and the comedian. That's what he said. He was taking a nap.
Yeah, well, they've got video of him taking a nap during the.
Okay.
So,
well, it was a real boring, and he's an old man.
Right.
But let's get back to the climate change.
Right. Very important.
And so.
That's why.
So then the woman on the Fox at 5, she says nobody cares about the climate change.
Mhm.
So I'm asking these kids here, do they care about the climate change?
Actually, I do, and I was gonna bring up later about Michigan's water crisis,
Oh, yeah.
and I was looking into, we are America, we're like the leaders
Mhm.
and whatnot. Why are we having water crises, and why are these things happening?
Right.
And I think Science Daily said that one of the reasons is climate change, and it's something that I'm gonna do more research on it, but I do think it's important since
Right.
we're still using like pollutants out here. I know New York is one of the most heavily polluted cities
Mhm.
that we have,
Right.
and it's literally like smog everywhere. Everybody's who's telling me not to go. They're like it's a dirty place. So just lots of things that we have to take care of. So
Right.
I do care about it.
Yep.
I would agree.
Yeah, Beijing in China, they have to have oxygen thing. They walk around with masks before the virus
Right.
Yeah.
because of all those coal burning power
Mhm.
plants.
Right. Right.
But at the summit, 450 companies will try to stop using fossil fuel and go to other fuels.
Mhm.
So that's some good news coming from the climate summit.
Mhm.
Okay, that's all I want to do. Take a poll of the kids there
Sure.
because it's
Of
going to
course.
affect them.
Yeah.
We're destroying
Yeah.
our generation, destroying this planet, and the kids they're going to have
Mhm.
to put up with what we're doing to the planet.
Of course.
Okay,
Hey,
bye.
thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
John.
I appreciate
Alright.
it. And I actually heard that we're coming up with some like green energy. Oh yeah, sorry, green hydrogen. I think that's what people are like the
Right.
scientists are developing right now. I have to look into it, but that's word on the street from my peers.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll just have to see how things roll out. And Mr. Bob, if you're listening, you can call back now.
Yeah.
But yeah, but okay, I have your answer to your question about like if we kind of displace
Mhm.
an American into an Asian country and an Asian into
Like
an
this
American
goes for
country.
like anything in any
Yes.
like societal
Anyway,
situation.
Yeah. So America, I think, believes strongly in you becoming Americanized in order to have like
Best opportunities.
the best opportunities. Yes. So like for example, a common thing that we hear when faced with like Hispanic immigrants, for example, lots of people say learn the language. Don't come in here speaking Spanish and expect people to accommodate to your language needs when the language like our official language is English.
Right.
I think the same could be said when you go to those other countries. There's a level of expectation of, you need to know the language, you have to be able to respect the culture,
Mhm.
and you have to know what the boundaries are. So, for example, if I'm going to an Asian country, I'm not gonna be like acting a specific way because there are things you have to respect. Like when I've been to Haiti, like I know, like a lot of people know, you cannot be outside past 7 o'clock when it's dark.
Why, what happens?
Oh,
Gangs.
the lugau, the witches, they come out and they eat you
Oh.
and they drink your blood for their practices and whatnot, for their voodoo. Actually, that's actually another perfect example. Me as a Haitian
Mhm.
cannot practice Haitian voodoo because that is a closed practice that is reserved for like Haitians who have been initiated into that religion, those practices. So, regardless of who you are or where you go, it doesn't matter how much I respect this or that. There's a certain level of boundaries that you have that you cannot cross when it comes to religious practices or cultural traditions, or even like family things that are like things that have just been passed down within families for generations.
Stepped
That's what
into
I
a
believe.
different thing I wasn't thinking about. I'll discuss it at a later time.
Okay, but that's just what I believe because they're just, and I think the same thing. I know Native Americans have very sacred, like their chants, their music, their land. So it, I think race as a nation, as a world won't go away because there's too much meaning behind it. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
So, but what was your other thing that you wanted to touch on?
No. Okay, I'll save that for another time. You go
Are
for
you
it.
are you sure?
Yeah.
No, say it
No,
now.
no.
Oh.
No.
All right. So actually, since I did bring it up, I'll just like to touch quickly on Michigan's water crisis. What is going on?
So what part of Michigan? Michigan's a pretty
Flint.
big state. Oh,
Flint, yeah.
Okay.
And I was just looking
Now
into
this
this.
goes back many years.
It does?
Many years. So when they put in the plumbing for the water delivery system,
Mm-hmm.
they use lead as a soldering metal to
Mhm.
solder the pipes together. It's called lead solder. So they didn't think about it at the time. They said, well, we're just connecting pipes, but the lead is leached into the pipes. And rather than
Yes.
changing out the pipes going forward, they probably should have said, okay, after 30, 40, 50 years or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
we need to redo this plumbing. So they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And so it kind of got into a kind of a Chernobyl type thing where it was a
Yes.
runaway situation where it
It's
just got worse.
like I'm just reading it. It's like they have to use bottled water.
Right.
It's like I'm like,
But it's been going on for years.
and okay, actually, now that you say that, I think I read somewhere on like some like government website
Right.
that this has been since like 2000 almost. Like there's been like droughts and stuff and like issues with the water since 2000. I don't know.
There's been issues. For the longest time, the problem is they had government. So the state officials, as I recall,
Mm-hmm.
that were in charge of passing the water quality standards for that municipality were kind of asleep at the switch. So they were
Mhm.
passing the water as good when it really wasn't. And then there were some health issues that
Mhm.
turned out for the local residents. So the state moved in and they brought in, they actually were bringing water in through Detroit or through other water providers. And with trying to budget and figure a way to
Mhm.
redo the infrastructure. That's the last I had heard about it. But that goes back for many years. And of course, those people were let go, and
Mhm.
there were some serious, repercussions as a result of their malfeasance.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I just
But
I pray
So
for Michigan.
good news, yeah. Good news,
Yeah.
bad news. The bad news is it happened. The good news is there was sufficient government oversight and enough people asking questions
Mhm.
to catch it. So it just didn't go on
Yeah.
infinitum. And it went on for, one day is one day too long, but it went on
Yes.
for a while. And but they did catch it, and they're dedicated to fix it. And they're making sure that people are at
Mhm.
least drinking good potable water for that municipality. So until they get it resolved, but yeah, they got to dig up the whole
Yeah,
infrastructure and
it's a
put in new
lot.
plumbing. Yeah.
Oh well, I just wanted to bring that up because I was looking at it. I was like, that's insane.
Right.
So thank goodness Florida doesn't have any issues like that. Because I just pray for Michigan. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go to break. So when we come back, we're gonna talk about school and how why is it on crack? So yeah, we're coming back. Stay tuned.
And now,
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
again,
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
And welcome back.
And we're gonna talk about schools being on crack, right? I like how that rhymed.
Okay.
No, just kidding. They're not really on crack. There's no crack crisis. I promise. It's just like, it's more like, what is going on, you know? So what sparked this was yesterday. I work with like the JIG kids at Anderson Middle School, and I guess I can say I'm an alum from Anderson because I graduated from there.
Right.
So
You can say that.
yeah, so like obviously so I go there. It's like really traumatic because I hated middle school and da da da. But I go in, and like every week I've always been let in, no problem, like my friend and I, because you know the people know us. I literally went there, so it's fine. But craziest thing happened is that this week, for some reason, this lady who was at the front desk, never seen her before, she would not let us in. And I was like, look, I've been here every week. I literally graduated from here. We're all good, you know, we're safe. And then so you know, she like had to call up the teacher we work with, and she was like, okay guys, like you guys are all good to go, but next time make sure like the teacher sends us an email. I was like, dang, like what happened? Like this is kind of crazy. But I mean, I respect the school for being safe. I respect it. You have to do what you have to do in your job. I respect that. But you know, it's always just been pretty smooth since like they know us, but it's fine. But then I come to find out after we got cleared to go in and everything that somebody the day before had breached the school. Guys, somebody went into the front office, said that they were a part of some program, and then they got in without being verified or anything. And this whole entire school had to like go into lockdown and everything. And I was shocked. I was like, oh snap. So you just got people out here trying to go into middle schools and like for what? Absolutely crazy. So that was like just like a very like local thing that happened. And then I'm looking on the news for like things to talk about today, and I see apparently in Boston a principal was knocked unconscious, alleged to be by a student, and there was another staff that was attacked. I'm like, what's going on?
Right.
Like, okay, when you read about it,
Kids are tough neighborhood, right?
yeah, but Boston is so. I think Boston is nice.
Well, it's a beautiful place.
I like Boston.
but there's some rough candidates there.
Yeah, but like I'm reading about it. It's like so this principal got sent to was taken to the hospital after being assaulted. So when police arrived, they found her unconscious on the ground, being tended by staff members, and her injuries, while serious, aren't considered life-threatening.
Right.
She's 61 years old who suffered broken ribs and a head injury from a 16-year-old female suspect.
Wow.
S-
She'll be tried as an adult for assault.
Really? Because they
Right.
actually said that they're taking her to juvenile court on assault and battery charges.
Well, it's Boston. If it was Florida, she'd be tried
Oh,
as an
of
adult.
course, of
Yeah.
course. But I'm
Yeah.
just like, I was looking, I was like, what is y'all doing to the kids?
Right.
Because like
So yeah, if that's an adult level crime.
Mhm.
That's something you think about, you plan to do,
Mhm.
right? That's yeah. And then there should be adult level repercussions.
like what's going on?
Right.
And then check this out. In Iowa,
Mhm.
students were accused of killing a high school
Oh, yeah.
Spanish teacher who's been there for like 12 years.
Iowa.
Yeah, in
That's
Iowa.
like one of the most passive places you can be,
I
right?
know.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, y'all really out here beating up like the look. There's a lot of people at South Park who do not like our principal. They're not his champion. But I feel like nobody can get anywhere near knocking this man out. Like John, what do you think? Like,
I don't think anybody
can you
physically
see somebody
knock him out.
knocking down our
No.
principal, like unconscious, like going to the hospital, assault, brain injury type deal?
No, I don't even know how that could happen.
Yeah. And then now you take it a step further,
Right.
killing a teacher as like 16. It says right here is 2 16-year-old high school students who have been arrested and charged with murdering a Spanish teacher at their school. Because she was reported missing several hours before, and then her body was discovered in a nearby park.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Wow. Yeah. What is wrong?
I mean, people
Right.
are crazy.
Right.
okay, yeah, but people are crazy. But like, what would again, like when you look at it, like really, what did these people do? I just want to like that's what I'm trying to know, because these are still ongoing investigations,
Right.
and I'm trying to think. I'm like, because what could bring young, crazy, hormonal teenagers to act out this way? Because I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at my IB friends, and like everybody else.
Right.
The worst they're doing is partying and getting high.
Mhm.
I can tell you, like I've heard stories.
Mhm.
That's the worst they're doing. They're not out here planning to kill their
Hurt people.
teachers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because
Perception, I guess.
what do you mean?
I don't know. Like you can take one thing and frame it in multiple different ways. So their perception might have been a little bit skewed.
Perception of what though?
Reality? I don't know.
No. I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
I just want to know, because like, how bad of a teacher or principal do you have to be too? Like that's awful.
Right.
I know, guys. Let's be safe out here, because like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there was like assault going on, like some aggression
Mhm.
or like rape or anything. Which I don't think so. But we don't know.
Right.
But I don't think so. And I'm just concerned. I'm very much concerned. So, John, do you have any other stories for us in our last 3 minutes, I guess?
Yeah.
3 or so minutes?
I guess something that would be interesting was 2 condors were reported allegedly they were reproducing like asexually.
What are condors?
Like California condors, like the birds.
Only in California.
Only.
Yeah. Right.
Because their
Wait.
population was like 500, and their breeders were trying to get them to kind of breed and reproduce to get back the natural population.
Mhm.
And they were tracking the males and females.
Mhm.
And they found that 2 female of the condors, like they had no interaction, I think it was, with the males, and they were able to self-fertilize and have their own chicks.
Wow.
Wait, birds? Okay.
So it's like reptiles, like
Yeah.
and then like even like stingrays and all that. But yeah, like rays. But yeah,
Whoa, what does that have
it's
to-
crazy.
No, wait a minute. Because like, what does that have to say about nature then? Like, are we evolving?
Well, remember that
It is.
famous line from that movie Jurassic Park, where one of the lead actors says, "Nature will find a way."
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was one of the
I
big
think there's like
takeaways
another
lines.
bird that does it too, under like dire circumstances.
Oh
I don't know.
my
It's
goodness.
just strange.
Right.
Oh my
You never think
goodness.
that could happen.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like so they developed the egg all by themselves, like birds lay eggs, right?
Oh,
Question
yeah.
mark?
Mhm,
Y'all,
yeah.
I have a 79 in biology. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm collecting all the dog dollars I can, and I haven't even started my IA, and it's due Monday, and I have to grow plants. I have to get fertilizer and grow sunflower seeds,
Right.
and then measure the dry biomass that the sunflower seeds produced over a 4-week period. I have not started, and it is due Monday.
This is a problem.
Yes. So that just goes to show
Self-incriminating.
that just be
all right.
thankful I'm not becoming a biologist. I'm
You-
becoming a lawyer.
So you need to invent a time machine and then go back in time at least 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
I-
in like
I-
every Ivy kid's nightmare.
I'd jump on the time machine idea real,
Oh
real
my-
quick.
No, actually, I've been trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
time skip. Okay, absolutely insane. Like,
we
I-
talked about this. Don't
Yes,
do it.
But seriously though, like I'm just waiting for the day because I feel like things are getting faster and faster.
Yeah.
Guys,
I
I'm gonna
hate
turn
it.
18 in like a few more days. It's like 26 days by now. Yeah, I know. I'm
Wow.
growing up, and I'm
Good
just like I'm looking
night.
at my life. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna close my eyes,
Mhm.
and I would have just been taking a long nap during graduation because I'm Pierre Lewis, so I'm all the way in the back. You know the P's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got A
Yeah.
all the way through P.
Yeah, I know. I've
And
been
then-
there. I'm M.
Oh yeah, you are M. Yeah,
I'm an
we
S.
would have been like 3 rows apart from each
Right,
other.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just trying to say, like, biology. Do you think there will ever be a time when humans will eventually learn how to asexually reproduce?
That's possible. Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
It'd be
Nah,
different. No, it would just
nah.
be with genetics.
Let me
but,
leave you
know.
guys with this one. There's a
Alright.
theory out there before we
Alright.
head out
Yeah.
that Mary, like Jesus' mother Mary,
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane. I don't believe in this theory, but I stumbled upon it one time.
Yeah.
They said that Mary actually was able to self-fertilize, and it wasn't actually like she got pregnant.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy theory. So ponder that one.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Get
right.
your homework done.
Okay. Yes. Invent your time machine and get your homework done. Okay.
All right.
All
See
right,
you on
we'll
the flip
All
side.
right. Goodbye.